I unlocked my front door and froze. Fresh paint, new furniture, my books, gone. My sister's framed photos lined the hallway, her clothes spilling out of the closet I bought. My apartment, my sanctuary, rewritten without permission. The betrayal wasn't loud, it was surgical. When my mother emerged from the kitchen with a smile, holding my sister's hand like she was the rightful heir, I understood. "Surprise," she said. "We thought it was time this place had better use." Better use. They called it a renovation. I called it trespassing. And as my sister twirled in the living room I'd paid for, bragging about her new marble counters, I only smiled. Because in that moment, I decided she would pay for every nail, every wall, every lie. I wasn't the golden child. She was, always had been. I worked, paid rent, saved, bought the apartment under my own name. But no matter what I achieved, my parents looked at me like I was borrowing oxygen. My sister, meanwhile, could burn money and still be called brilliant. I should have seen it coming. First, she borrowed clothes without asking. Then she borrowed money. Then she borrowed my car, crashed it, and let me cover the insurance. Each time, I swallowed my anger. Each time, my parents defended her. "She's your sister. Be kind. Be kind." Kindness had built this apartment, and now kindness had been twisted into permission. I noticed the signs weeks before. The sudden quiet when I called home. The way my landlord avoided my emails. My sister's cryptic Instagram posts about new beginnings. But nothing prepared me for stepping into my own home and finding it occupied like conquered land. Still, I didn't yell, didn't throw them out. I listened. They bragged about tearing down my ugly old shelves, about repainting in her aesthetic, about how I'd adjust. That word, adjust, slid into my chest like a blade. I nodded. I congratulated her. I let them believe I was cornered. But inside, I was already drafting blueprints. My sister had one weakness. She believed love replaced law. She thought family meant ownership. But I'd been reading the lease agreements since the day I signed. I knew every clause, every statute. I knew what trespassing meant, what unauthorized renovation meant, and what it cost. So while she was busy moving in, I was busy meeting with a lawyer. Quietly, efficiently. The law was simple. The deed was mine. Every change she made was illegal. Every bill she signed in my name was fraud. All I had to do was wait. 2 weeks later, the trap snapped shut. They came to celebrate her moving in. My parents, my cousins, all clapping in my stolen living room. My sister strutted like a queen, holding a glass of champagne she hadn't paid for. That's when I walked in. Calm, silent. The room froze. "You're early," my mother stammered. I smiled. "No, I'm home." I walked to the kitchen counter, placed down a neat stack of papers, and slid them toward my sister. "Read," I said. She blinked. "What is this?" "An eviction notice. For you." The silence was perfect. Her laugh cracked. "You can't evict me," Mom said. I cut her off. "Mom doesn't own this apartment. I do. Every nail you put in the wall, illegal. Every charge you made in my name, fraud. Every bill I paid for you, terminated as of tonight." I pulled out my phone, tapped once. Behind me, the lights clicked off. The Wi-Fi dropped. The AC went silent. I'd shut down every utility with a single swipe. "Welcome to your new reality," I whispered. Their faces drained. My father muttered, "You wouldn't?" I turned to him. "Try me." My sister's hands shook as she flipped through the papers. Her name wasn't on a single line. Not on the deed, not on the lease, not on the bills. She was a squatter in the home I'd built. "You can't do this," she hissed. I leaned in, low enough for only her to hear. "You should have asked first." Security arrived 15 minutes later. My lawyer stood behind them, calm, professional. My sister screamed, begged, cursed. My parents pleaded. But the law didn't care about their tears. The law cared about signatures. Mine. They were escorted out with nothing but the bags they carried. Her clothes, her furniture, her decorations, all left behind. By law, they belong to me. Improvements made without consent stay with the property owner. I didn't touch a thing. I let her vanity rot in the place she tried to steal. That night, I sat alone in my apartment. My apartment. The silence was beautiful. I ran my hand along the fresh paint she'd chosen. I didn't hate it, but every brushstroke was a scar, a reminder of the moment they tried to erase me. They thought I'd crumble, that I'd bow, like I always did. Instead, I let them choke on the consequences they never thought would reach them. And as the echo of their outrage faded into the night, I realized something. They'd taught me my whole life to be kind, to be patient, to forgive. But they forgot the most important lesson.